Hashim is here. And today's video is going to be a podcast with Aaron from France. He has a YouTube channel about street interviewing people. So please welcome with me, Aaron. How are you doing today?
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for welcoming me on your podcast. It's a pleasure to be able to speak to you today.
No, it's my pleasure for you to accept this invitation, and I do appreciate it. So talk me a little bit about yourself. I just know you're Aaron from France, you're doing street interviews, but what encouraged you to do this, and what's your background in general?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, I'm Aaron from France. That's the name of my channel on YouTube. So what encourages me, to start that channel? So first of all, I wanted to improve my English. It was one of my main goals. So I thought, okay, let's create a channel. It will enable me, to meet people on a daily basis, meet British and foreigners. So I would be able to learn the British accent and also get used to the different foreigners' accents, because in the UK you have so many different accents. I'm French. You are from Jordan.
Yeah.
And there is people from China, from India. So
everywhere,
it's really diverse.
Yeah.
It's really diverse. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes for myself, it's a bit tricky sometimes to understand different accents,
Yeah.
Especially Indian. Sometimes I struggle to understand them.
What is your favorite accent by far?
Oh, my favorite accent. That's a tricky one. Well, if you are talking about the British, I really like the accent down south. I think it's easier to understand. The accent, yeah, down south near London, I think it's easier to understand for me personally. The accent in the north, it's a bit more tricky for myself.
Scottish
But I do appreciate their slang. In Sheffield, in the north, they have some amazing slang. When they're calling you, "Hi, love, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
That's lovely. So I met you when I was doing some street interviews. That's how we met.
Yeah, and I remember it was in November 2024, in January 2024, where I was filming How Chess Changed My Life video. And I was going there, and all of a sudden, someone stopped me. "Oh, hey, I really liked your style, and you're just, can I ask you quick questions?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, what are you on about?" And he asking me, I forgot what was the questions, but that was the first time I met you.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I remember it was a Sunday, and you were about to film your video. I remember that you told me that. And I was filming a video about foreigners in the UK. I think what makes you proud to live in the UK.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's been quite a few months.
That's will bring me to another question. Where do you get inspirations for the questions that you ask to people?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. So basically, just sometimes I'm going on some specific websites, or just asking Google, what kind of question could be interesting to us British, if it's a question directly to us British people, or foreigners. And sometimes, I'm watching also quite a lot of, content online. So sometimes, if I'm finding an interesting topic, for example, maybe some other interviewers might, talk about a specific topic for their country.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I might be able to do that as well myself. And I get some, inspiration from them sometimes. Sometimes from my own. Sometimes, I'm taking a quick shower. I'm like, okay, what could I do? And sometimes some inspiration comes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a bit random as well. But usually that's how I proceed before making a video. And sometimes as well, I'm checking some comments on the YouTube comment section or even on Instagram. People like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and that's how it goes usually.
Speaking of comments, I know, the majority of my comments on my YouTube channel are positive, but you get some negative comments. How do you deal with it? Does it impact you a lot or?
Yeah. So actually I do get some negative comments, unfortunately. It does happen. It's not common. I think maybe on a weekly basis, maybe I will get, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 bad comments. Also depending topics. Some topics might be a bit more sensitive than others, so it depends. But usually now at the beginning, it does affect you a little bit. Especially at the beginning, oh my god, because you don't have that much subscribers. You are starting off. You're like, oh my god, maybe I'm doing something bad. I'm offending some people. Maybe I should stop. And after, when you get to a point, and also after videos, you get a lot more confidence as well. So now it doesn't really affect me anymore. I don't really care. But at the beginning, if you are starting off, it can it can affect you a little bit, you know. For example, you will think about it maybe the whole day. If it's a really bad comment, you're like, oh my God. And you're like, oh, don't think about it. But it will come back throughout the day. You're like, oh man.
Yeah. There's a video like I uploaded recently. It was like a trip to Edinburgh. And during the video, it's a vlog. And I stopped at one of the gas stations. And they had Feastables by Mr. Beast, if you know the chocolate.
The new brand.
Yeah. So I like gave my honest opinion. I gave it like I remember I gave it 8.5 out of 10. So I gave it a really decent rating. And then one of the comments were like, but I said something that it's not way better. It is better than Hershey's, but it's not way better than Hershey's as he says. And some person in the comments, he was like, bro, you can't even know your how to say, you don't know your tongue well. It's like someone okay, I'm missing.
I mean, different opinions, everyone liking different things.
Yeah, but he was so like, it's such a weird comment that it's like has talks with Mr. Beast or something, because it was like, even if I slap you in the face, you won't recognize how way better Mr. Beast Feastables is than Hershey's.
That surprised you?
Yeah, like, okay, bro, chill, like, it's fine, it's game of opinions, like. But anyway, that's part of the comments and part of the social media community.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm glad, like, you already, because I'm still like, I don't know, I have 300 subscribers or almost 300 subscribers. I'm still like not as big as you, but yeah, I'm started getting used to it. So
yeah, it's a bit tricky, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah,
I understand what you mean.
So
because also, you know, when it comes from the negative sides, maybe I can talk about that as well. People, you know, when they are commenting on your channel, on your videos, they don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes, how much work you're putting in. Also, you know, when I'm uploading a video I'm talking for myself, you know, I'm meeting a lot of people and I'm not uploading the whole video, I'm not uploading the whole interaction. So a lot of people sometimes are missing some context to really have the proper opinion. And sometimes people are just haters, you know, a lot of jealousy as well.
Yeah. That's something I really appreciate about your last video. You showed in the beginning that you asked around 22, 23 people just for that question, and no one was not able. They didn't want to participate in it. So it made me appreciate, like, okay, street interviewing is not as easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That usually, yeah, when I make a video, you know, it does take a lot of time usually to make a complete video.
Yeah.
And for that topic alone, I thought, okay, maybe I will include some behind the scenes so people can have a better image. And also the topic was about if British girls were shy. So I think it was, you know, interesting for people to have like a look on that as well. So do you think British girls are shy? Do you think they're shy in your daily life?
I don't think so, to be honest.
You don't think so?
They are. I mean, my experience is all from students, so I didn't really had the chance to interact with actual
any professional interaction.
Yeah, but all of my experience were like that. They're not quite shy, but someone says like they are more. They love their comfort zone. I would say they love like their surroundings. But mainly, like they're friendly, outgoing.
Yeah. Do you have some British friends yourself? British girls yourself?
I have.
Yeah.
I have like, I'm not sure if I have like that many British girls, like friends, but I have many British friends, I would say.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. And that's the main reason like I got my English improved. So
okay.
Yeah, if you saw me like first year here in Sheffield, my English was. Let's not talk about it. Okay, never mind.
But that's really cool. Your own experience. So for you, it's pretty easy to meet up with British people. You find it's pretty easy to connect with them.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Yeah. So we spoke about one of the challenges that you face during sales reviews is to actually get people to do the interview. What other challenges you would say? Beside the weather, I know the weather here is not the best, especially in the Yorkshire area, you know.
Yes. As you mentioned, of course, the weather can be sometimes a bit tricky with the camera, the microphone and everything.
I need to give credit to Arnold for one thing. So he did an interview with me and it was snowing. He came, you remember it? Yes. He came all the way in the Diamond, like in the one of the engineering buildings here in Sheffield. And it was really heavily snowing and he just came. So you can tell how big the commitment he has, this guy.
Thank you. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because that's true. We filmed actually 2 times before. And yeah, I think in January it was snowing a lot. Actually, it was a bit tricky. But no, yeah, it was awesome to meet you again. But yeah, besides obviously the weather, besides, you know, if people wants to say yes or no, speaking to me or no, the main challenges would be, you know, sometimes just the equipment itself. Because sometimes, you know, I might, you know, have a really good interview, I'm like, I'm super happy about it. Okay, you know, it's in the camera, so I'll be able to post it. And later on, when I'm coming back to my place and starting to editing the video, I'm realizing, oh my God, the mic wasn't on, or maybe like, you know, they picked up too much wind, so it's not clear enough to be able to be posted. That's a really big challenge, and sometimes it's super frustrating when it does happen. Yeah, I think, yeah, the mic sometimes is not, if there is like a problem with the mic, that can be really frustrating. Maybe the camera, you know, if there's a problem with the ISO, if it's too bright, too dark, then that can be also challenging. And sometimes it can make the footage, you know, a bit too choppy, a bit too dark. So it's yeah, that's sometimes super frustrating as well and challenging when it comes to the equipment and everything related to that. And a challenge, well, what can be challenging as well for me, you know, it's people also don't know that aspect of content creation. Is maybe probably you know that as well, but it's like you have to be committed to it. People think, oh, it's super easy to make content, you know, oh, it's super, you know, but you have to be really committed, and that's something I didn't expect.
That's like will bring me up to another question, like what keeps you motivated? Because I think like I'm struggling with now is, okay, I'm doing videos. I'm not saying it's the best videos in the world, but still I'm putting some decent effort on it. But I'm not getting that retention that I want.
Traction, yeah.
Yeah. So what keeps you motivated?
Yeah, that's something. It's a bit related to my point there. You know, it's the motivation to keep on going and have a long-term vision. At the beginning, it was also, you know, I was starting off making videos. I wasn't getting almost any views, I'm gonna be honest. And it was really like, you know, discouraging in a way, because you are putting, you know, a lot of efforts, you are doing your best, you know. And when you are, you know, when I'm speaking to a lot of people, you know, on a daily basis, it's also energy consuming, because when you get rejected, you know, after times and times again, it's and you have to keep on going. So that's something also you have to manage as well, manage your energy. But yeah, long term, I would say is that I know on the long term it will pay off. And YouTube is like a long term game. It's not like an overnight success. So that's what keeps me motivated. And once, you know, at the beginning it was really hard, obviously, to get attraction, to get people to watch the video. After, step by step, I improved the quality of the video. I improved the sound of the video as well. Step by step, improving what I could have, you know, control over. And I was thinking, okay, if I improve what I can control, then the result will follow. And that's what basically pretty much happened. Also, the topic of the video can influence as well how successful the video will be. But yeah, in my own experience, what keeps me motivated is, you know, the long-term plan, long-term goal, and also once you are getting, you know, that sort of first traction, first comments, first viewers, like, okay, it's starting. Okay, I need to keep pushing, keep going.
Yeah.
And motivating yourself that way as well. After, you know, once you're reaching 1,000 subscribers and 40, I don't know how many hours you need to have to be able to get money from YouTube. I don't remember that.
It's 500 subscribers and 3 hours watch time.
Oh, it's changed now.
Yeah.
For me, it was a bit different. But once you're getting that goal, you're like, okay, yes, now I can make a bit money off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much, you know, and after as well, maybe it probably also happened to you in the long run. You're starting to get some emails from companies wanting to like sponsor you. And I remember when I first got my first email, I was like, oh, what is this email? I don't know what's going on. So I click on the email.
Yeah.
It was like, it was saying like sponsorship. I was like, oh, maybe it's like, you know, they're making a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
And I opened the email. I was like, hi, Arnaud, I'm from France. We like your content. We like to sponsor you. I was like, oh my God, yes.
Nice.
I was like, I remember I was super happy for the whole night. And the next day I was like, oh my God, yes. It's finally starting to pay off that way.
When did you start YouTube, sorry?
So I started YouTube, I think at the end of 2022.
Okay, so
At the end of 2022, yeah.
Almost 2 years now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I didn't know anything before starting YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I just know I wanted to meet people, meet people, have fun, create new memories that I could reflect on when I'm a bit older. Maybe if I have kids someday, if I have the chance to have kids. Like, hey.
That's the beauty of that platform. It's
Yeah.
like it will keep the memories forever, technically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also something that is really interesting you're bringing up. That's also one of my goals actually. That's what keeps me motivated when I'm like, oh, look, when you will look back, maybe 20 years, 10 years from now, you're like, oh my god, it was worth it.
Yeah. Interesting. YouTube is interesting. And
what about you? Maybe what about you?
No, yeah, I was going to say about it. So I saw like a video. I'm not sure where did I see this, but someone said people are treating YouTube not fairly, because if you want to get successful at something, you would need to wait, and usually the wait is, we're not talking less than 3 years. For example, here in the uni, just for me to get that engineering degree, I spent already 3 years now just to get it. So same thing with YouTube. How am I expecting to get successful within the first year? No, you need to be patient with it, and it will pay off. And you only need that one hit.
Yes.
You need that one hit, but you're not sure which video that the hit will be on. So
exactly,
you can tell, like, to some extent, you can make things that will how to say it, will make this go faster. So for example, when you target audience, or you are doing something trendy, that could help to some extent. But recently I got one of my videos got like 3K views on like an actual like 6-7 minute video.
Oh wow.
That pushed me so much, because finally I got something more than 1,000.
Some traction.
Yeah. And beside this, most of my videos, the retention, the watch time is not as much. So it's like 2 minute something.
I'm super curious. Like, for example, if you take like your most watched video, the 3,000 you mentioned.
Yeah.
What's the retention? On like an 8-minute video, what's the retention?
It was around 2 minutes 55 seconds, 2 minute 50, something
like
like
20%, 25%.
Yeah. But yeah, from what I saw, that's the average. So
I was super surprised as well at the beginning when I started YouTube. I was like so depressed sometimes, because your retention is sometimes super low. Like, what is that possible?
Yeah.
When you put all your efforts into the video.
How's your CTR looking?
My retention, my stats.
No, like click-through rate. Like
click-through rates, I think it's like around 10%. I think.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's
around
decent,
10%. Yeah. After, it depends also your videos, and it depends when you have a lot of views. For example, my most watched video is like almost 200,000.
Yeah. Beside this, I saw once like if you want to go viral, there's like 3 things you want to go. Either you go controversial stuff, or you catch trendy stuff. So. Or like give your opinion on something that is wrong. Okay, so for example, everyone knows this microphone is the best microphone in the scene.
Yeah.
No, you make a video saying 10 reasons why this microphone is the worst. So you make something controversial, and people will, what is he on about? So that's like a small example of how you can go trendy. The reason I think the story of Gokesh is like he's like a chess player, and he's 18 years old, challenging will be challenging.
The Indian guy, right?
Yeah. Will be challenge. He's the challenger for the world championship. And what motivated me to make this video is I already was inspired about him. Yeah. I read about his story, and I thought of, okay, let me do a YouTube video about him. And I thought it's a bit trendy nowadays, because a lot of because he's inspiring a lot for Indians as well, and they love him a lot. And he's following the steps of Veshi Anand. So I thought I have a target. I targeted the audience, which are the Indians, and it went really well. And most of my chess content actually is by Indians. So much love to you guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So probably because of him, because it's like a trendy subject in India.
Chess now is booming in India.
Okay.
People are like start playing at 4 or 5 years old. So it's all because one guy, his name is Veshi Anand. You should
go there, man. You should go to India. You should go in play some chess.
Yeah. No, one day we can do street interviews about like, do you know that chess guy?
Actually, that would be interesting. Just thinking about the type of content you're making and what you like doing. I think what would be super cool for you to do, maybe even in Sheffield, you could just make videos about chess. Like, for example, you are setting up like a table in the middle of the street, and you're like inviting people to play with you against you
Yeah, yeah,
playing
yeah.
chess. I think that'd be amazing. Like, hey guys, who wants to challenge me playing chess? And you can make videos, maybe teach people or have some random conversation about different topics. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well,
I think that'd be really cool.
I need the time for it. It's a bit tricky this year, but maybe in the winter break or something, I can try to do something out with people.
With the studies, yeah, it takes a lot of all your time.
Yeah. But anyway, beside this,
that's super cool.
What else did you get from YouTube? Like beside like monetization and so on. Like, what changed in your personality? Yeah,
that's interesting. You know, when I was starting off,
a lot of people are watching us. You know. Anyway, I don't know.
You want to let them in?
No. Confidential stuff. Yeah.
No, so that's a good question. So when I was starting off, obviously I wanted to meet people, but obviously when you're starting off, it was probably the same for you and for everyone starting YouTube, watching us.
Yeah.
You're a bit nervous, you know, you don't know what to do. You're walking on eggshell. You're like, okay, what's the next step? How I can improve that? And in my case, obviously, I was nervous starting off. But I know I wanted to meet people, so that was a good way for me to like overcome that anxiousness. But to come back to your question, right now, you know, for example, when I'm filming, I don't have that anxiousness anymore. I'm more confident, even though I was already confident, but it improved. I'm even more confident now. I can pretty much talk to anyone. So that's what I pretty much improved and changed. Also, regarding the rejection, I don't really, at the beginning when you're getting rejected, you might be a bit more affected, like, oh, they are rejecting me. And sometimes on the street, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes you can get some really bad rejection.
Yeah.
People saying, oh, or like, some really bad rejection.
Yeah.
That does happen, but maybe they have a bad day, so I don't blame them. And I forgot it really quickly. So also that aspect, rejection doesn't really matter to me, so that changed. And also, my perspective of the world, because I met a lot of different people from different walks of life, different ideas, different opinions. So I'm probably even more open-minded. You can just, accept different opinions. That definitely changed. And of course, like, when different opinion, different tradition. Be even more open to the world and
you got a brighter view on other cultures as well.
Yeah, definitely, because everyone is different, everyone has different traditions, so just accept them how they are. Everyone has a different story. Yeah. Everyone goes through some problems, so just be more. I'm trying, and it definitely changed. Be more tolerant. If people making mistakes, if people are rude to me, just let it go. That definitely changed, and that helped me a lot in my daily life.
Yeah.
If someone talks bad to you, or you're always bad in someone's story.
Yeah. Of course, you're not. It depends on what point of view you are looking at. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the tricky thing, which is you need to be honest with yourself. Like, not everyone will like me.
Yes,
and that's fine. If that's what makes opinions and makes kind of life better. Like, okay,
interesting.
So why this guy is not liking me? If it's not a personal thing, okay, I would start. No, I wanna improve myself. So no, I will make content so everyone can like it and enjoy it. And even though if I do this, still like not everyone would like it and enjoy it. So again, let's just focus on that people that they are actually liking the content and the things you do.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And that makes life interesting. Different opinions, different tradition. You can learn from each other.
Yeah.
I'm learning from you. You're learning from me. And and not everyone will like you. That's for sure.
What was your surroundings' reaction when you started YouTube and street interviewing? Like your parents or your family in general, cousins, so on.
Yeah.
did some friends like change perspective when you were like, what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. When you are starting, I think it can be for anyone. I think when you are starting something new, people might change their opinion over you. And I found in my own experience, It's really hard to find people that really support you, that really wants you to win.
Wow.
I think that's from my own experience. Once you are doing better than them, then they don't really talk to you anymore. At the beginning, I was receiving a lot of criticism, like, oh, you're not gonna make it, and that it's a bit, cliche.
Is that like from YouTube audience or like?
Not for some of my friends.
Oh.
For some of my friends,
Okay.
I did got some of those comments. So yeah, it's a bit cliche because everyone say it online. But yeah, it's a bit true, unfortunately. So I lost some friends because of that. Because now I'm a bit more. I'm not, too successful, but I'm getting there, I would say.
Still, we are grinding. So yeah.
Still grinding.
Yeah.
Still, pursuing that dream, but step by step improving, getting better at it. But yeah, I lost some friends because of that. A lot of criticism as well. Oh, it's gonna take years. You're not gonna make it. Blah blah blah.
How did you handle it?
Because at the beginning was really tricky because I didn't have anyone around me pursuing that goal, pursuing YouTube, pursuing making videos. So at the beginning you are pretty much alone. I was pretty much alone, unfortunately. So yeah, that's probably the hardest part when you're alone. You don't have any connection, you don't know anyone, so you are just watching videos online.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do this, I can do that. Yeah. So that was hard at the beginning. So that's when you need to push through, and after you'll recall to the rewards. But to come back to the question, I lost some friends. Some people had judgment as well. Oh, it's not gonna be good, whatever. So it does happen.
Are you? I want to change off the topic a little bit because I don't want to be the podcast so dramatic, but it's fine because when we get successful and you'll be grinding, of course, a lot of these people they realize they made a big mistake, so don't worry about it. I forgot my question.
You can cut that, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can take your time, but maybe you can talk about your own experience as well. How do your family,
Most of them they were positive, to be honest. They were happy because they knew to some extent that I love content creation. Oh, that's my question. Do you love content creation? Because when I started, I started it from passion. I love editing videos and kind of deliver my messages through videos. That's something that I really wanted, and I actually started YouTube in 2012, and it's in the same channel, and that was my first time. It was with me and my cousin. His name is Ahmed.
Okay.
But then I private all the videos by 2016, 2017, something like this, and I stopped till 2020.
Why did you do that? Why did you private them? It was too
It wasn't good videos, and I was so young, and I was just playing Minecraft or doing some. I had a challenge. I named him the Mango Challenge. I might do a reaction to it, but I'm not sure because it's so cringy. But beside this, yeah, most of my surroundings were happy actually, or excited. But the main thing is, make sure that it doesn't affect your studies, because your main priority is focus on your studies now, and then seek whatever.
Yeah, if you can make it, that's true.
Yeah, so it's kind of challenging on balancing my time.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I managed to do it.
But that's super interesting. You also talk about something I want to ask you about the process of creating content. Do you prefer making the video itself, or do you prefer editing the video?
Both at the stages. I love making the video, and I love then, because when I make the video, I visualize how I'm gonna edit it. So I make the video based on that, and when I edit it, and I be so happy on the things on my mind, I'm applying it, and it's working perfectly. So now that's giving me extra boost. So I would, of course, I would say I will give slight more to making the video, because editing it is 3 process for me. So I cut the videos, so I can make I'm delivering the information or whatever smoothly, and then I'm montaging it. I'm adding effects, video effects, zoom in, zoom out, these stuff, and all of them take a lot of time to do it. So if you're not managing your time well, it's a pretty challenging thing, especially if you want to do decent content. Because now YouTube is way harder than that ever been.
And how long does it take for you to like edit a complete video? How long does it take? How many hours are we talking about before you're, when the video is completely done?
Depends on the video. So for example, when I did the vlog in Scotland, which is the Edinburgh one, I filmed around 64 gigabytes. So you can imagine the amount of footage that I had that I needed to edit. So it took like, I don't know, 6 to 9 hours. I would say 3 hours only cutting and having the perfect footage, and then adding the effects and sound effects and blah, blah, blah. How chess changed my life, for example, the first video I made.
Yeah.
I filmed it in 4 or 5 different scenes, something like this. So it was quite long. Also, it took a while to do, and I filmed it on 4K as well. So that was a big
space.
Yeah. But something like which I'm doing recently, like reviewing a book or something. No, this doesn't take a lot. It's just I make just for because there's not that much visual effects. I'm just making the edits, cuts well, and I'm delivering the thing well.
Yeah. There is less footage as well. So
recently, I'm trying to add 2 angles when I film the video. So I have the main camera here and another camera here. To sync them together, sometimes it takes a while, but other than that, I enjoy the process. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie,
yeah,
I made some videos that I didn't have any ideas, and I didn't want to stop uploading for this week. No, I wanna be consistent and try to upload every week. So I made some videos that I'm not too proud of, but it's part of the thing.
Part of the process.
Yeah. Well, what about yourself? Do you edit your stuff?
Yeah. That's what I asked you as well, because for me, the most fun parts of creating content is asking people's question. Also, it's always a challenge to get people to answer. So it's always challenging to approach people and them saying yes. So that's exciting for me. I like that.
Yeah.
I like in a way sometimes getting rejected. It's fun because it's part of the process.
It's fun. Okay. That's a good way. It depends on how you are looking at this thing.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it, it's fun. It's gonna be fun and you're gonna enjoy it. If you're not like, oh, why people are rejecting me, you'll be so annoyed and probably you will stop doing the thing.
Exactly.
So it's only about how you look at it. Yeah. Sorry. Cool.
No, that's a really good point. Exactly.
Yeah.
And now I think it's pretty fun, even though I'm getting rejected. And sometimes when I'm getting rejected, sometimes it's pretty funny. Some of them are pretty funny. So I like doing that process. I like doing that. But I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of editing videos. I do it myself because I have to. But it's not something I enjoy a lot. I gotta be honest. So
why is that?
I don't know. It's just you're like sitting down, on your own, having the headset on, focusing. Okay, I need to cut this, cut that. Should I keep that phrase? Should I, remove it? Having a good flow of the video.
Yeah.
Also making sure people aren't repeating themselves. Always something different, something new. So it adds some spice to the video. Because if not, it's a bit boring if everyone's saying the same things.
Yeah, and I think it's quite challenging, especially when the content they're doing is not all of your guests are like fluent in English. So there's a lot of so you have to cut these to make it, which takes a while. I see what you mean.
Yeah, that takes a while because you want the video to flow, the viewers have a good experience, and sometimes depending on the people you are talking to, sometimes they might struggle a little bit to. And also, I'm not blaming them because when I'm approaching them on the street, they are not aware of me coming up to them. So they're like surprised. Like, oh, who's this guy approaching me? He's tall. He has a weird accent. Tall, weird accent.
I saw a comment once. He asked you, bro, how tall are you? I'm not sure if you saw that comment. It was in one of your videos.
I don't remember this one. But I'm not blaming them. Even though I try my best when I'm approaching people to make them feel comfortable, and to have just a good moment and a chill conversation. But when you are stressed or nervous, you can be panicking as well, and you can lose your English a little bit. So
yeah. Are you relying on YouTube now as a full-time thing, or?
So YouTube is like a part-time at the minute. So to be honest, I'm making some money via the YouTube program, via ads. I'm making a bit of money as well with some sponsorship now.
Okay.
It's but it's like a part-time. It's not the goal. Obviously, is to go full-time, grinding towards that goal. But yeah, for now it's part-time, and the rest of the time I'm just doing some freelancing as well online,
Yeah, that's good.
editing some videos, or I have a degree in marketing, digital marketing, so sometimes I'm helping some companies online.
How are you
Uh,
balancing like the actual work stuff you do with YouTube?
so
Is it
you,
challenging?
um, depending the video, for some videos, it happened in the past. I had to travel to film a video. Um,
Like in YouTube?
yeah, for YouTube.
Okay.
Um, very few times, but for 1 or 2 times I had to travel, so that's a bit more tricky. Obviously, if I have to travel to make the video.
Yeah.
But usually I would film. I would Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would just do YouTube. Depending, I would film probably Friday, Saturday, or only Friday or Saturday, depending if I'm done with the video. And after I'm gonna edit during those days. And for the rest of the week, I'm just gonna be focusing on the other things I'm doing to make money. So.
Yeah.
And also, I forgot to mention a little disclaimer as well. I didn't say it before, but my parents don't know I'm doing YouTube at the minute.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
I don't want them to because they have a bit of an old mindset. They have an
Mm.
old mindset, so I don't know exactly how they would react.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I'm successful before telling them.
Yeah. So if you are starting YouTube now,
Yeah.
what would you make different?
Okay, see, if I would start YouTube now, I'd probably try to. The thing maybe I was a bit stuck on at the beginning, I wanted to do it like myself, do it my own way. So I think if I would start now, I would probably sort of watch what really works on YouTube in my field,
Yeah.
Try to, in a way, try to imitate them a little bit, because at the beginning you need to find your own way, your own voice on YouTube. And at the beginning when you're starting off, you're you're imitating a bit, copying. And as you go, you will find your own way, the things you want to talk about, how you want to talk to your audience. But yeah, at the beginning, I'll probably just, watch guys that are, doing well on YouTube, try to what I really messed up at the beginning, to be honest with you, was the quality of the video.
Mm.
I really, really messed up that big time. And I think that's why it took a bit more time maybe for my videos to get noticed, because my video quality were really, really bad.
Yeah. But no, that's part of it. So Mr. Beast say something as your first 100 video, it will be so bad. If you are lucky, your 101 video, it will be good.
Yes.
So it's fine. And he was saying it's fine if you start like this, but make sure every video you upload, you improve one thing. So as you said, one time you improved the microphone, and then you improved the camera, you bought a stand, and so on, maybe the quality of the questions. So every time we try to improve one thing. That's what I'm trying to do now. So for example, I started this podcast online in my room, and now I'm doing it in an actual studio with such a guy who is which I'm really glad that you accepted the invitation, to be honest. And we are doing, hopefully it's a good content. Are you enjoying it, guys? So again, thank you for this.
Yeah,
and,
it's a pleasure.
So it's a thing, you see, you will start slow, you will start not in the best way, but you will end up at least in something pretty good and pretty nice. That I don't think I imagined I would do an actual podcast in a great studio like this one day.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. I was super excited, to get invited by you. It's my first podcast as well. So, finding my marks as well.
Yeah.
But, we are blessed today. We have an amazing setup with all those lights. It's it's such a bless. So, yeah, super, super excited and happy to be here.
Are you going to go for trendy stuff in the future now?
Yeah, you mentioned that a bit earlier on YouTube, about the trendy topics, and then some people sometimes they're doing some clickbaits on the YouTube thumbnail, on the title, as you mentioned. If there is that is such a good microphone, but if you want to get a bit more trash, or a bit making the blood of the people boil. And obviously that will make them comment, engage with the video. You will telling maybe, okay, that's not a good microphone. But I think I will not do those kind of things. I like to talk about interesting topics that interest people.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think in the future I will go for this kind of maybe clickbait video.
Yeah.
I just want to be myself. I'm trying to be myself every time in this podcast as well. trying to be just myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I started YouTube, I have a word with myself on, okay, when I make a video, I want to make sure that I am interested in the video and I'm interested on doing that video.
Yeah.
I want to be enjoying it, not only doing it for views or, because to be honest with you guys, I can do a lot of videos now that it could go viral and trendy. But I'm just focusing on something that I love before. So when I want to make sure when I success in YouTube or on whatever, no, I want to be enjoying it, not doing it for because I have to. You know what I mean?
That's a good
Yeah.
point as well. You are mentioning. I think also as well. It's also when you are looking long term, if you're enjoying obviously making those videos, it will help you like keep on going, even though you're like hitting some roadblocks, hitting some problems. That's also something to keep in mind. You are enjoying the process, enjoying making videos, enjoying your work. So that's something that is also you need to consider.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask a question, but if it's personal, feel free not to answer.
Yeah, it's fine.
What are making you living in the UK, not in France?
Oh, okay. So maybe I forgot to maybe it was part of my background.
Yeah.
So, as you know, I'm Arnaud from France. In France, I'm from the east of France, which is like near Germany and Switzerland.
Like Grenoble.
No, not at all. It's like the name of my state is called Alsace. That's the name of the state.
Okay.
And I was born in Colmar. That's the name of the city.
Okay.
Which is famous for the Christmas markets. So Christmas is coming soon. So if you're watching that podcast before Christmas, I recommend you to maybe, if you have the chance to be in France, to go to Colmar. The Christmas market is really amazing. And Strasbourg as well. Christmas markets, I think the best in France. Not biased.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm from that region. So that's a bit of my background. And after, so I came in the UK in 2009, at the end of 2019, for my studies.
Yeah.
As well, for my studies. Reason being, I wanted to improve my English. Before coming to the UK, my English was pretty terrible. So yeah.
Yeah.
Really terrible. I was really stressed actually when I came here. I was like, oh my God, my English was so bad. I was afraid of not being able to understand the classes, understand people talking to me, because my IELTS wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So I came here, study here.
IELTS is the exam, like the English exam.
Yeah.
Us foreign people usually take before we go to any schools in the UK or in the US or any English-speaking country. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's like a way to assess your English.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you go to like an English country, you need to pass the exam. But yeah, anyway, that exam was pretty bad for me, so I was obviously really tense. But it went fine. I was able to get my degrees. And then started YouTube at the same time during my studies. And decided to stay here for a little bit longer, making those videos about the British and foreigners. And also, in a way, I like the UK definitely. It's different than France. People are different in their mindset. From my own experience,
Yeah.
because I never lived in Paris, in the capital, but from my own experience, I think the British people are a bit more extravagant when it comes to different opinions, even in their clothing. Sometimes they can go crazy, so I like that kind of things. You can be really yourself. From where I'm from in Alsace, people, have a bit more that German mentality because we are near Germany. So it's a bit more strict. You have to follow the rules a bit more, I think. If you go to down south in France, people are a bit more chill.
Yeah. Can you speak Dutch?
No,
No.
I cannot speak German.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's really hard to learn. Have you tried?
In Deutschland? No. I already know Danke. That's it.
It's a good start.
It's just really. It's one of the languages that is really aggressive.
Yes.
And it's not. It's. If I want to learn a language, I think it will be Japanese. I'm not gonna lie.
Why is that?
Yeah. Why is that?
Japanese?
From anime mainly. But it's such a nice language, I think. Yeah.
You want to find a Japanese girlfriend?
No. I'm not. I'm not.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
German is not that romantic. That's for sure. But yeah, in my state, people usually...
It's not about romance or something, but it's such a hard language. It's like...
It is, but usually when I'm talking to someone on the street, if it's about languages, usually people tend to want to learn a language because it's romantic. Usually the romance side of it influence people to, learning a language or not. Sometimes it's for work because it's for working reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, plenty of people mention that aspect, like, oh, it's so beautiful, it's pretty to hear whatever language you like. But
Yeah.
yeah, as you mentioned, you think it's beautiful, Japanese beautiful.
Yeah. That's it. I don't have any more reasons, but I just like it.
That's cool.
But that's something else. So you asked one of your videos were about what is it like to be French in the UK. So allow me to ask you this question: what is it like to be French in the UK?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm finishing just the why I'm living here. So yeah, study here for a couple of years. Started to make those videos and decided to stay. So that's why I'm living here currently in the UK. What it's like to being French? It's obviously it's interesting because I look British. So I'm white, so people cannot really recognize me on the street like, oh, he's French. So that's something interesting. Obviously people view me and look at me as a British. And of course, when I'm starting to talk, they're, oh, French accent, because I have a strong French accent. So obviously sometimes, if I'm talking to a British, they're going to make a few jokes about me. Oh, yeah, French people, they like snails, they like frogs, the food they're mentioning. Also, a lot of times the baguette, the bread. Oh, baguettes. Maybe also the clothing sometimes.
Croissant.
Yeah, croissant. Croissant, baguettes, all those kind of things they're going to mention. Oh, I love France because I love croissant. It's so good, croissant. And some people love croissant. Love the French
I love
bread.
croissants.
Yeah.
Do you love it?
I love it, and I miss that. That's something I really miss about France.
What do you like more, baguette or croissants?
That's a tough one. I think both, depending my mood. But the pastries, the bread, that's something I really miss, because in Sheffield it's impossible to find those kind of things. So I miss that a lot. But yeah, no, it's always, obviously, it's always with like a good intention. Usually people are making some jokes to try to connect with me.
Yeah.
Because British people like to joke, like to tease you as well, like to make fun of you. So sometimes if you're not used to it, you can like, oh, they are so rude.
Oh.
But in fact, they are trying to
But
connect.
you always mention like British girls. Is it British girls in general or like British in general?
No, just British in general. British in general, I would say probably maybe a bit more men, because maybe they're a bit more confident.
Okay.
But yeah, making some jokes, making fun of you. But I think for them, it's a way to connect with you.
Yeah.
So no, it's a good experience. Maybe some people, maybe it can happen. Maybe like once or twice was a bit maybe more intense when I told them I was French. A good example was during the World Cup in 2022.
Yeah.
France was playing against England, and I watched the game in a pub.
Yeah.
Everyone was English. I was only French, and in that sort of scenario setup, it was a bit dangerous for me because I was, I love France. I'm a proud Frenchman.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be low key, to be like subtle, not
It's a serious
scream
thing,
when when there is a goal for France.
They
And
won 2-1 that day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when Giroud, scored the second goal, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was like, oh my god! And everyone looked at me, and I started to have problems.
Oh.
They wanted to fight me.
That's
That was
fine.
a bit tense, so I had to be be careful at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Leaving the pub because everyone was angry at me. But yeah, usually it's pretty good. Always always good reaction from British people.
Yeah.
when I'm telling them I'm French.
What one of the we spoke about YouTube and what encouraged you to start and what improved during this and how your English improved from it and so on. But what one takeaway would you take from YouTube, from your journey so far?
Yeah, I think I'm coming back maybe to my points a bit earlier I mentioned. It's just just the fact that I'm not judging. I'm trying, to improve myself every day, to be a better human being because of the channel as well, because I'm meeting different people from different backgrounds. So it really helps me to become better. And also I'm working myself, but just to not judge anyone, try to not judge anyone because they are believing something that in maybe me I might find a bit weird. I'm like, why they are doing this? Why they are believing that? But just, not judging, accepting that and learning from it as well.
Yeah.
So no judgment. yeah, that sort of aspect, maybe a bit more like philosophical, I would say, maybe, but yeah, just
Speaking, yeah, sorry to cut you. Speaking of philosophy, what is your favorite quote
oh my god, wow.
that you like whenever you feel down or something to motivate you, you read it?
Okay, let me just pick up my phone
All right.
because
Let him cook. Okay, let me get a water for you to when you get it.
yeah, it would be this one. It's like a French quote, which I will translate. So in French, it's like le courage, c'est d'être vous-même chaque jour dans un monde qui vous dit d'être quelqu'un d'autre. In French, it's like the courage. It's being yourself in a world that tells you to be somebody else. Basically, if I'm translating in English.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just reminding myself to just be myself at any given time.
Yeah.
If when I'm on the street, if I'm meeting someone on this podcast, I'm trying to be myself, even though, I was maybe a bit nervous at the beginning. But yeah, I'm just trying to be myself, not trying to be someone else, or not trying to like, yeah, just be myself with anyone I meet. And sometimes I'm using this quote
Yeah.
before before filming, or just maybe at night if I'm a bit down, or if the day was a bit tougher than usual.
Yeah. For me personally, I love the quote from Think Again by Adam Grant.
Okay.
It says, "I will remain ignorant if I pretend to learn." A lot of times I be trying to learn something new, and okay, I learn the thing, but then I say, okay, no, I'm done. I learned it so well. There's nothing new I can add to myself from it. But then I relook at it. No, I was so wrong. So for example, with video editing, I was saying, okay, I peaked at video editing. There's no way I can improve more. But no, when I start looking at and I'm improving every day, and I look at it, oh, I was ignorant, saying no. I learned everything. No, so that's like something to always push me. Whatever stage I reach, that I'm thinking that I have enough knowledge about something. No, that's encouraged me more to know. I want to read more about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That quote, like, it makes me think about the quote from Socrates. I think Socrates said that. I think, I'm not sure anymore, but he was saying like, the only things that I know is that I know nothing.
I don't think,
it's a bit like that. You can always learn. You can always learn something new, regardless of the topic. You can always learn something new, video editing or in any given topic. So,
are you a book guy? Do you read books?
Not at the minute, but I do sometimes enjoy a good book. I'm not gonna lie.
What is? Maybe you can share us. Like, what's your favorite one?
Oh, my favorite book. My favorite book. Personally, I read a lot of. If I read, it's gonna be biography type of books, biography about people, successful people, or just about life in general, about like improving myself as a person.
Yeah.
I don't really like to read like sort of like
I don't like a novel or something. I don't read these. Something to improve myself. So, for example, I love recently Atomic Habits. It's a great book.
I know this book.
But there's that one that I read recently. There's a lot. The thing is, I don't really read books. I listen to them, because usually I walk a lot. Listen, if you're in Europe in general, you're gonna walk a lot. Let's agree on that.
Yeah.
And it's the best way to
taking the bus as well.
Yeah, it's the best way like to use your time while you are walking, because sometimes you will be walking for an hour, for 40 minutes, whatever. Instead of just listening to music or not listening to anything. Okay, of course, sometimes it's better to not listen to anything and just focus and enjoy the moment with the wind hitting the trees and so on. But anyway, I like to use my time on like listening to audiobooks.
Yes.
And during only like that 40 or 1 hour journey, I finished many books only just listening to it. But favorite book? Okay, wait. There's so many. I love Who Moved My Cheese.
Oh, I have no clue.
It's like a book on like dealing with change.
Okay.
The last book I read is about money psychology.
Okay.
And I did a video about it as well. That's the last thing I read. But if I have to pick one, I think it's between The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People,
Okay.
or How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of these.
So those books change your life.
It changed a lot of my perspective on life.
Okay, so it did
and
help
how
you.
to deal with people, what kind of habits are good habits, and so on. Of course, I can mention Poor Dad, Rich Dad. Amazing,
Yeah, I read this one,
amazing.
I read this one.
It's
Yeah,
a game changer. It was a game changer. What else? Again, there is so many, like Atomic Habits, Think Again, The Power of a Habit. Oh, The
Yeah.
Power of a Habits is such a nice book, because it's not. It gave me the information that a habit is not about the memory. It has specific cells for the memory itself. So, for example, you can lose your memory, but you can't lose your habits.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy how like habits in general works.
And reading those books yourself, did you like, it did change your life? You are more efficient, you are more productive.
I'm improving.
Yeah.
But these books helped 60% on like making this character as Hashim is on now. It's mainly encouraged me to do YouTube, I would say. Anyway, thank you all for watching this podcast, and thanks to Aaron. Do you have anything to add?
No, it was a pleasure. Thanks again for the invitation. Hopefully you will enjoy it. We did our best, and yeah, see you later. Thank you, Asham.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's it for today's podcast. Aaron's channel is down there in the description. Please go check out his channel and leave him a comments. I'm here from Hashim. Please, if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will definitely catch you back later. Bye bye.